National power. National power is the ability or capability of a nation to secure the goals and objectives of its national interest in relation with other nations. It involves the capacity to use force or threat. It involves the capacity to use force or threat of use of to use force or threat of use of force or influence others for securing the goals and national interest. Okay. National power means capacity of a nation to achieve its national interest in relation with other nations. Power enables a state to defend its interest in long term and to produce desired results. To sum up, power is the capacity of a nation to influence the behavior of others. In sum up, power is the capacity of a nation to influence the behavior of others in accordance with one's over ends. National power includes the power of a nation in all factors such as economic power, political power, military power, diplomatic power, technological power. Economic, political, military, diplomatic, technological. Definitions of national power. I really did have to do that. National power, Ford and Lincoln. National power is that combination of power and capability of a state which the state uses for fulfilling its national interest and goal. Because you want. Oh. We drink too much. Okay. National power is that combination of power and capability of a state. Nothing ever makes sense. I'm feeling alright. Then on the sunrise and hoping shit is okay. Pretending we know things hasn't really happened. And until the action just Ford and Lincoln. National power is that combination of power and capability of a state, which the state uses for fulfilling its national interests and goals. Nature of national power. National power. Wow. In common usage, the terms national means pertaining to the nation. As such, national power means power of a nation. I'm feeling alright and hoping shit is okay. Pretending we know things. The term nation stands for the power of decision makers, statesmen, diplomats who exercises power on behalf of the nation. Who? Statesmen, decision makers, and diplomats who exercise power on behalf of nations. So the national power is national nature is of national nature. Power for understanding the nature. For understanding the nature of power in context of national power, let us distinguish between power and force. Power and influence, force and influence, and several other features. Hearts. Rainbow from the start. Oh. Power and force. Force means physical force, violence in the form of police action, imprisonment, punishment, and war. Power means psychological relationship of control, which is backed by use of force or threat of use of force. When physical force, war, or other means involving the use of military power or police power is actually used to secure certain objectives. It's known as power. Power stands replaced by force. Power and influence. Power and influence, these both are intimately related terms. Both involve the ability to produce an intended change or effect in the behavior of others. However, the two are not the same. Power involves the use of force or threat of use of force. Political power or legal power is backed by authority and sovereignty of the state. Influence involves attempt to change the behavior of others through persuasion and not by threats or force. Scope of influence. Power is wider than the scope of influence, and it is more democratic than power. Scope of influence is wider than the scope of power, and it is more democratic than power. Hence, it is power and not influence which is the real currency of international politics. Main features of national power. National power is both a means as well as an end in international relation. International relation is both a means and an end in an international relation. I was going to say electric relation. National power is a means to control the behavior of other states with a view to accomplish certain ends. It is recognized as the currency with which a nation can secure the desired values: peace, security, progress, development, status, and more powers. National use power to secure their interests. National power is the means to control behavior of others with a view to accomplish certain ends. Currency with which a nation can secure desired values: peace, security, progress, development, and all. Nation use power to secure their interests in the international relations. This makes power as a means in relation among the nations. This power, like money, is means and it is mostly pursued as an end. Okay. National power is the ability to secure goals of national interest. Ability to secure goals of international. I don't know what I'm saying. National power is the ability or capacity of the nation to influence or change the behavior of others with a view to secure the goals of national interest. It is a relationship in which a powerful nation is in a position to achieve desired goals of national interest in international relations. National power of a nation is measured in terms of its ability. National power of a nation is measured in terms of its ability. National power of a nation is measured in terms of its ability to secure its goals. National power of a nation is measured in terms of its ability to secure its goals and objectives in international relations. National power is dynamic and relative in character. National power is always relative to time and resources. The power of nation has to be analyzed. Is dynamic and relative in character. Of course, related to time and resources. The power of a nation has to be analyzed both through an analysis of capabilities and ability of a nation as well as by comparison of national power. So increasing outside addicted, outside addicted. Talking to my mom, she said, where you find the sky? I say, yeah, people fall in love with the wrong people sometimes. Some mistakes get made, that's alright, that's okay. You can think that you're in love when you're really just in pain. Some mistakes get made, that's alright, that's okay. In the end, it's better for me. That's the moral of the story, babe. National power is always relative to time and resources. The power of a nation has to be analyzed both through an analysis of capabilities and ability of the nation. Power of a nation has to be analyzed both through an analysis of capabilities and abilities of a nation. Oh my god, today I'm understanding the lyrics. No, I didn't, I'm just kidding. So, the power of a nation has to be analyzed both through analysis of capabilities and abilities of a nation as well as comparison of its national power with other nations. Further, national power is dynamic, it keeps on increasing or decreasing. This national power has a non-stable dynamic character. No two nations have equal power. Right? No two nations have equal power. Further, it must be noted that no two nations have or can have absolutely equal power. There can be only a rough equality between two equally powerful superpowers or great. There can only be rough equality between two equally powerful superpowers or great powers or major powers. The power of a nation is always more or less than the power of every other nation. Yeah, there are several elements of national power. Several elements, multidimensional. National power is often analyzed and evaluated. Abilities of a nation, which are determined on the basis of several factors like geography, political, population, diplomacy, etc. All these factors have to be analyzed both quantitatively and qualitatively for evaluating the national power of nation. Actual power and potential power. Moreover, the attempt to analyze power of a nation must focus both on analysis of actual power, is the power which is immediately available, whereas potential power is the power that can be generated in situations of crisis and time of need. It refers to crisis management ability as well as possible availability of power in the years to come. Actual power. Each nation seeks to use its power for securing its national interests in international relations. It is a feature which makes us regard international relations as a source of struggle for powers. The national power plays an important role in international relations, right? Of course. And it is also needed for understanding the national interest of a nation. It means for the fulfillment of the needs. This means of foreign policy. Foreign policy. National power is the very basis of foreign policy. Policy of a nation. Only that foreign policy can be effective in securing the goals of national interest in which is backed by adequate national power. Persuasion. Persuasion, which is influence, rewards, punishment, role of national power, kinds of power, elements, limitation of power, kinds of power. Oh shit. Kinds of power. First of all, military strength of a state